Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode of Vakil Pathshala. I'm your host Deeksha and today's episode is truly special. If you've ever wondered what it takes to stand before the Supreme Court of India and to argue cases at the very highest level and to earn the title of Advocate on Record, this episode is only for you. Joining us today is Advocate on Record Ipsita Ojal, who qualified before the Supreme Court of India in 2026 and began her career with the Bar Council of Kerala in 2018, pursued her LLM at Garden City University, Bangalore, and completed her law degrees at Savitribai Phule Pune University. Her journey reflects dedication, resilience, and a deep commitment to the law. It's an absolute pleasure to have her on Vakil Pathshala. Ipsita ma'am, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really looking forward to hearing your insights
Thank you so much,
and
Deeksha.
experiences.
Thank you for having me.
Ma'am, who actually is an advocate on record? And what are the responsibilities that come with it?
So, an advocate on record is someone who is an advocate who has cleared the advocate on record examination, which is conducted by the Supreme Court. And once you clear that examination, you'll be able to file cases in your name. So you'll be able to file, plead and argue cases before the Honorable Supreme Court. If you are not an AOR, you will have to seek an assistance of an AOR. So all the cases are being filed in the Supreme Court on behalf in the name of an AOR. So I'll be able to file cases in my name. That is what comes along, and that is a huge responsibility. If you ask me about the responsibility from the drafting to filing, to everything, to conducting the cases in every stage, whatever has to be done, be it filing a counter, be it a rejoinder, taking steps, whenever the registry flags any defects, curing them, all those responsibilities is of the AOR.
Could you also explain the difference between a lawyer, an advocate, and an advocate on record, ma'am?
I understand. These terms are used quite interchangeably. And because there is a bit of technical nuance, maybe that's why commoners get confused with these terms. So a lawyer is anyone who has studied law. That's a lawyer. An advocate is someone who has studied law and has enrolled before any bar council and practices law. That is an advocate. An advocate on record is, as I said, an advocate with 4 years standing. But that is the basic requirement to write the AOR examination. You should have 4 years practice. 1 year you should get the training under an AOR who has 10 years standing, and then clear the examination. So an AOR is someone who has cleared the advocate on record examination conducted, and he or she will be able to file cases before the Honorable Supreme Court. And in fact, there is one more term, that is senior advocates. That is also something which is technical, which may be quite, layman may not understand that. So senior advocates is a designation which is earned, which is conferred by either the Supreme Court or the High Court. And this is conferred taking into consideration their expertise, their experience, etc. And you'll be able to distinguish immediately on seeing a senior advocate, because his robes would be different, the coat and gown would be different. The gown would have a flap on the back, and the coat would have works, embroidery works, frill works. So that is the difference of a senior advocate. These are the 4 terms basically.
Understand the role? Let's turn to your personal journey. Behind every title is a story, and I think our listeners will be extremely curious to know yours, ma'am. Why do you decide to be an AOR?
I thought to be an AOR is that I wanted that sense of independence. I wanted to file cases in my name. I don't want to depend on anyone. So I decided that I'll try to clear the AOR exam. So I really wanted that sense of independence, and I think that gives you a lot of confidence, that sense of independence. And inspiration, I would say I am inspired by people who are around me, my parents, my husband, a few advocates, some senior lawyers, judges. So whoever is good, I take inspiration from them. I won't say any one single name. I take inspiration from a lot of people who are in and around me.
Walk us through the subjects involved and how tough it is to actually crack the exam, and is failing actually common, ma'am?
what you need to write the exam is you need a minimum of 4 years of experience. As I said earlier, you need 1 year of training under an EOR, and then you'll have to clear the exam. Now I'll tell you about the examination. So this examination is conducted annually. Every year this examination is conducted. There are 4 papers. The first one is practice and procedure. The second is drafting. The third is professional ethics, and the fourth is leading cases. So you'll have to study all these 4 papers and then give the examination. Many things in these 4 subjects you would have heard sometime, either in the law school you would have come across certain concepts. Some things would be new, while many things you would have at least a vague idea what it is. But yeah, all these things, it can be studied easily. If you want, even I can suggest a few books or something. If someone is so keen and particular, I would say to become an AOR, the handbook of Supreme Court, which is available online, that has to be downloaded, and at least just read it from the beginning to the end. Then the Supreme Court rules to pass the practice and procedure examination, which is the paper 1. For that, you'll have to study just take the Bare Act. You don't have to buy any expensive books or anything. Just take the Bare Act and study that. The practice and procedure you'll be able to clear. And in regard of drafting, I would say anyone who has a couple of years experience would be able to draft the cases. All the question papers are available online. Just try a few questions. Practice from different type of questions, like practice criminal SLPs, civil SLPs, writ petitions, PILs. Try different kind of drafting. Even people who are practicing before the High Court would have an almost similar pattern, but not the exact pattern, but almost a similar pattern, and you'll be able to do that. Bail applications, all those things, just try that.